You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Hey, welcome to the show, folks. We certainly appreciate you guys coming by today. As always, refer the show to your friends, neighbors, relatives. Get them involved in the show. Tell them to go to iTunes and subscribe. Go to YouTube.com/Chris Voss. Go to Goodreads.com/Chris Voss and see all our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to the big LinkedIn newsletter. That thing is huge over there, and our 122,000 LinkedIn group as well. Today we have an amazing gentleman on the show. We're talking about his brand and what he does. Chase Million is on the show with us. He's a 36-year-old gentleman who lives in Layton, Utah with his significant other and daughter. He is a USMC combat veteran, and he's currently in real estate investment consulting. Works for a company called sub2.com, and Pace Morby, who also has a show on A&E called Triple Digit Flip. He's an inspiring music artist, actor, and comedian, and he's also working on getting a homeless veteran foundation established. He's got a few links we'll be talking about. Welcome to the show, Chase. How are you?
I'm doing really great, Chris. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Thanks for coming on. It's great to have you, man. So give us some of your .coms, your plugs, where you want people to find you on the interwebs.
You can find me on SoundCloud, Chase Million, and then also on YouTube, Chase Million. If you just type in Chase Million Comedy, you'll find me. My website's under construction. Will be launched live on Wednesday. But yep, those are a few places.
There you go. And I think we got a little weak on the audio. Is there any way to get close to the mic, or is there a mic?
Is that better?
That is definitely better. That is way better.
Sorry about that. I had my fan on.
Oh, that's what it was. It was blowing up the thing.
My bad.
That sounded a little Darth Vader-ish. It wasn't too bad. We can fix it in post. So you do a lot of things. What's the top of mind thing that you want to talk about and promote first that you do?
Well, first of all, for my day job, as you mentioned, Sub2. If anybody's looking to, learn about real estate investing, house flipping, several different strategies we teach you over at Sub2, and I can drop also like a referral link after the show. But there's that, and then and I did serve in the military for a little bit. Had some challenges getting out, but I feel since I've been doing great through with this job and comedy and stuff. It's really helped me get over some things there. But yeah.
There you go. Thank you for your service. And you've got a lot of stuff going on online for yourself. You've got the YouTube channel. What do you want to see talk about on the YouTube channel?
Well, I only have one thing on the YouTube channel is actually brand new. It's just It's my very first stand-up show I did at Wise Guys last week, and I'm waiting on a response. They get back to you by late tonight, so I don't know if I'm going up next week, but I just have that there. And then I used to have a music video up as well, but I was with like a record label that like defunct or something. They didn't pay their Vivo dues. So I don't have the music video anymore, but that's what's on my YouTube channel for now. I'm going to start uploading more content soon, but just that 3 minutes of material there from Wise Guys.
And is Wise Guys in South Jordan or West Jordan? It's
There's
like
3 of them.
200 South or something?
There's 3 of them. The one that I was at was the one where they do open mic on Wednesdays and Tuesdays.
Oh, wow.
That one was in Salt Lake in the Gateway.
Oh, wow.
And then there's one in Ogden. There's one in South Jordan, like you mentioned. And then there's also one in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. I remember going to those back in the day. I used to take dates there. They used to have a lot of great comedians come through. What is now you have an upcoming event you'll probably be putting on YouTube. Tell us about that.
So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. That's upcoming next month in July. I'm doing a course with American Comedy Institute, and the final the final class is a performance at the Gotham Comedy Club.
Wow.
So, just for that, I'm pretty stoked for that. Never been to New York, so I'm just going in for one day and then flying back here to Utah.
Nice. That should be fun. The Gotham Comedy Club. That is a really high profile comedy club. I see all the great comedians there. I think we were talking before the show. Artie Lang. I've seen like a million of his shows there. For some reason, he liked that place a lot. That or they're the only ones who put out videos. I don't think Caroline's or some of the other ones put out videos, but Gotham always has videos for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's their thing. But that'll be awesome. That's a great high profile show.
Yeah, there's that, and then they do on Sunday. It's a virtual one, so I'm going to be doing both.
What made you want to get into comedy?
To be completely frank with you, it's
you can be Frank, you can be Chase, you can be whoever you want.
Chase, Frank.
If you want to be Frank, you can be completely frank with me.
I'll be.
Just don't call me Shirley. Just don't call me Shirley.
That's from Airplane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a classic. I used to watch that growing up.
That's one of my favorite jokes.
Liam Neeson, or no, not Liam Neeson, whatever his name was, but the old guy that was always old.
Oh yeah, Liam Neeson's the other guy, the Batman guy, huh? Yeah, I know it's Nelson. Is it Lisa? Jackie Gleason? No, that's not Jackie Gleason.
I don't know.
But anyway, why did you get into comedy?
I got into comedy because it's helped me just talking about some personal issues, and I'm exploring some stuff from the military and just personal. It's kind of therapeutic. I've gone to had to go to some therapy when I got out of the military, and that didn't necessarily work for me. So I feel like this might help a little bit more. And I feel like laughing. I always have enjoyed making people laugh, and felt that maybe I might be able to do it professionally. So
there you go. And you've got a website too for your comedy. Give us that .com again.
That's chasemillionscomedy.com.
Yeah. So what do you hope to do in your comedy career?
So I just want to be able to put together, a half hour or so, and maybe like something eventually on Netflix or one of the one of the streaming things, like anywhere from a half hour to hour is my objective. I don't know how long they make those. It's usually, I think most of the bigger people that have the specials, I think they're longer, but I just want to do like a half hour to an hour.
Yeah, a good show that people can see and all that good stuff. It just takes time. I've got a lot of comedian friends, and it's just something where it takes time. You've got to build it. You got to get your chops down. And now you've done some acting in your past too. Was that the thing that segued you maybe into comedy, or did you kind of want to do both?
Yeah, kind of. Well, so the acting that I did, I kind of got into it out of a fluke. It was called, the first thing I ever did was called Fear Level, and it actually won a couple local awards. Well, one in LA, and then there in Utah County where you're at the. But it was like a horror / drama, and then I didn't know what I was doing, and because I had done music, and I had reached out to the guy that was directing it. His name was JD Allen, and he called me up out of the blue one Sunday and said, "We need someone for this part." The guy didn't show up, so I showed up, and I didn't know what I was doing. Because I hadn't read the script or anything, so I improvised a little bit. But like my scene was, and I was like, my scene was like a bunch of, and I talk about it in my act, the one that's on YouTube. But it was about me and a couple other white people jumping a black guy who we thought was trying to hurt a white girl. So pretty heavy subject matter, but I kind of tried to bring some comedic relief to it and stuff like that. So that's kind of what segued we made, because everyone thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So though, it was heavy subject matter, I was able to turn it around and kind of make a joke out of it.
Well, that's sometimes what people do when they use comedy to teach and everything else. Sometimes making people laugh. A lot of comedians, they have their personal issues, and making people laugh is a healer for them. It's kind of like a drug. You hear that laughter, and it kind of fires you up. I mean, it's something that, when I hear people laugh or entertain people, it fires me up. I'm just like, yeah, it's like crack. And, there's something inside of us that, I don't know, sometimes it helps. I think a lot of it, what it is and when you give to people, when you're suffering sometimes or something's bugging you or something, when you give to people, um, that's the best time to show gratitude and to share. And sometimes by giving first, it helps you deal with what you're doing because you're being selfless. You're giving of yourself. And so for a lot of people, that's really a healing thing, a very important thing for them.
Yeah, I love the way you put that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I know it because I suffer from it.
Do you?
Well, a lot of comedians do. A lot of comedians have, childhood issues, different things they've gone through, or
Yeah.
a lot of stuff maybe they haven't resolved. I mean, Bill Cosby for a lot of years used to talk about. He used to always talk about how he never sees a psychiatrist because the psychiatrist might figure him out and turn him unfunny. Turns out he was hiding
Right.
other stuff from the psychiatrist, but that's another thing. But he probably didn't want to admit to anything to the psychiatrist. But I mean, a lot of comedians, they'll tell you outright they're not straight in the head sometimes, and they're working through their thing. And comedy is a great way to, keep off the tortured mind and tortured fence. And a lot of great comedians are tortured. And they go through a lot, but it's good medicine, I think, and it's a good service that you give to other people, and you make other people laugh. I know in some of my darkest moments of my life and other people's lives, when I've I remember one time my father was in the hospital. He called me up and I could hear fear in his voice, and he was very afraid. And he'd had his umpteenth heart attack or stroke. He lost count after a while. And he was really worried this time because he'd gone in and been totally gray, and they were really having to bring him back from the dead. And he was really worried. He was really afraid of dying. And he called me, and I could hear fear in his voice. And so I started telling him jokes because I was just as afraid. I was just as scared. But that's how I deal with stuff. I turn it into comedy because that's all you can do. I mean, you can either live with the fear, or you can turn into something that's funny. And so I started telling them jokes because I didn't want them to suffer. I didn't want them to be in pain. I could feel it. And within a couple jokes, I had them starting to laugh, starting to giggle. I said, have you hit on the nurse? Is your nurse hot? How's the food? And I did all the routine stuff. And pretty soon I had him laughing. And when I had him laughing, I had him change his mindset to a perspective of where it's not so bad, it's not so dark. He lived for a short while after that, and that wasn't his last hospital stop, but it helped him get kind of in a better frame of mind. So I think we do that as comedy, but part of that was it was healing to me. And so I think that's kind of what comedians are doing. They're healing themselves and helping other people.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of something when my grandma died. I was a pallbearer, me and my cousins, and I had it probably wasn't the best time to make a joke, but I had made a joke like while we were carrying the casket, but it probably wasn't the best time to do it. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
I mean, it's one of those things where comedians stretch the line and they try, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I've been certainly
like in real life situations though, like I've gotten beat up before on saying some in real life, like for doing comedian stuff that I probably shouldn't have done. And I learned really fast in my 20s that, I'm not either, saying funny stuff or thinking you're tough. It wasn't working. So anyway, yeah, that's my story about comedic stuff in real life that got me beat up.
Well, you got to pick your battles. Sometimes you win and lose. And the one thing about a comedian is the comedian sometimes tends to stretch it. And when they do, sometimes they can stretch it just a little too far. So that's good.
Exactly.
So what do you do in the real estate business? Let's talk a little bit about that.
So right now I'm a director of enrollment for a company called Imdb. We teach people creative real estate investing, raising private capital, different types of creative entrance and exit strategies, whether it be a sub-2, seller finance, wholesale, bunch of different type of ways you can make money. But he's also got a TV show on A&E called Triple Digit Flip. It's Pace Morby and Jamil Danji. They have one season out right now. They're filming the second season, but
wow.
Yeah, that's what I do, Monday through Friday, even on the weekends. Sometimes I'm taking texts and calls and stuff like that, but mainly just texts on the weekends. But I'm taking appointments, like 4 or 5 appointments a day, Monday through Friday, doing that.
There you go. And that's got to be a pretty good business right now with real estate, right?
Yeah, and it's really good. And why I love what we do, it's, because it is, real estate's a great market right now to be in, whether you're in retail and I don't have a real estate license. I actually went through all of the 120 hours last year here in Utah, but I didn't go through it. But yeah, that's one thing I like about what we do. It's, with creative financing, it does take money to make money with real estate, as we all know, but we like to show you how to get it creatively.
There you go. I mean, being able to raise capital is definitely something that's a skill, if you will, when it comes
Exactly.
down to it. How do you see the current challenges right now? I mean, right now we're having the Fed do some adjustments and interest rates are going up. How do you see that impacting the business here in the future?
That's going to probably impact the retail market more than what I do.
Hmm.
That's going to, with mortgages and, interest rates, that's going to, we with sub 2, like we can offer people, with sub 2 type of deals, you can offer people higher than, asking, or seller finance. But so it doesn't really affect, whether the market's up or down. We're going to, with short sales is going to become, that's going to be
That's
affecting
true.
the market. I feel short sales are going to be a big thing here coming up pretty soon as well.
There's going to be a lot of defaults going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're in for a huge correction, and then it'll correct
Speaking
pretty
of that,
hard.
I got someone calling in right now. I'm going to have to say, you know what? You guys can call me back later. I'm
There
on
you
with
go.
Chris Voss.
There you go.
Sorry
There you go.
about that.
So you've also got a SoundCloud and an IMDb. Tell us about that. For those that explain what the IMDb is to those who don't
So
know.
IMDb is just, shows credits you've done in the film industry, whether it be cast or crew. I have just a couple credits there as far as acting. One of them that didn't make it to post production, or that didn't really make it to past, much. But then the Fear Level one was the one that won a couple awards here, one in Utah and then one in the LA Film Awards. Um, so there's that, and then I was working on some, getting back into. I want to eventually get into some like executive producing and stuff like that, but that's more down the road. When
Mhm.
we talk about raising private capital, I know how to do that through real estate. I need to learn how to, if I don't want to use my own money, doing that with film as well. That's one thing I want to learn.
Yeah, that's always important to learn. Raising money with film is, that's something else. If you can find a good investor or something, like a Chinese billionaire, preferably.
Yeah, yeah, but then you find one of those guys and they want to be all up in the script and stuff like that, and like,
Yeah, you've got to deal with all that too. It's
and then you're acting, and then it's like, who is that guy that had to apologize to China? Was it not Channing Tatum,
it was
or it
the
was the
wrestler dude,
John Cena?
John
He had to.
Cena. Yeah,
Did you see that a while
yeah,
back
yeah. I
where he was
remember that.
apologizing?
That was
So yeah,
crazy, man.
you can get the Chinese billionaires, but then you end up, bowing down to them ultimately.
That's very true. It's something where you gotta deal with all the ins and outs and all the things that go that way. Do you see yourself doing more acting and stuff in the future? A lot of comedians do that.
Yeah, I want to, but I want to make my stuff just more like, as far as limited. I want to do more of like the executive producing and like the financing, and have
Hmm.
my, I see in the long run having my own studio and not doing a ton of acting. Like if I could get like a job that could make me good money and like set me up in, in the industry, yeah, but I want to do more of like the, because I've done some crew stuff too, like a little bit of um, a little bit of producing, like with locations and stuff. But I did some stuff that no one likes to do, is the holding the boom, that
Oh
type of stuff.
yeah.
That's not something I want to do, but like, yeah, I see myself, probably 5 to 10 years down the road having like a production company like that.
Yeah. A production company would be good, especially, a lot of them go union. At least I don't think they have unions here in Utah, but I know in California they do.
Yeah,
But
not here. It's a right to, or a right to work state, or whatever they call it.
yeah, they're really, for a long time when I had an acting and modeling agency up here in Utah, They were there were a lot of the stuff was coming here because and being filmed. Touched by an Angel was being filmed at the time, and
Yeah, I
one of
remember that one.
the big thing was they'd had a big union strike in California, and so everyone was coming here and doing business here. And there's still lots of movies that are made here. The South is that southwestern look is
Hmm.
still great for videos and music videos and
Yeah, St.
movies.
George is awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy the amount of filming that gets done there. But Lenny, this has been a great conversation. Anything else you want to touch on or tease out for you?
Not really. Not
Okay.
really. I think we've touched on about everything.
There you go. There you go. So give us a .com. It's the best places to find you on the interwebs.
Okay, so we got chasemillioncomedy.com. That's under construction. It'll be live here in just a few days. And then we have Chase Million Comedy. If you just Google that, you'll see my YouTube as well. So yeah, and then Chase Million at SoundCloud as well.
Yeah. What sort
The
of
one
music
from
do you do at the SoundCloud?
So it's kind of a mix. That's like some older stuff, but like it was like rock infused hip hop, and then it was a lot of hip hop type of stuff. But I'm not doing as much music now as I've been. I just barely got, like, as you can see, I have this guitar that I've been playing. I don't plan on playing a ton live, but that's just what I've done in the past. But if an opportunity to come, I might get back into music, but that's more old, like I said, I do see myself pivoting further into, comedy moving forward.
There you go. There you go. Well, making people laugh is something everyone needs. It's definitely important. Thank you very much, Chase, for coming on the show. We really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks for having me. I appreciate you reaching out to me, and I definitely look forward to, watching listening to some other of your shows in the future and checking out that book that you have as well.
There you go. There you go. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss. Go to all of our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all those places that crazy kids are playing. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you, Chris.
See you, man.